Hello everyone and welcome back again to another video. And for today's video I'm going to share one team in the Ultra Premier, which is quite late, but still I'm going to share that. So this team is based upon Chesnaught over here, which I think is a really sneaky good pick for this meta also, because it is grass and fighting, so it can handle couple of very top meta Pokemons. So the first thing I want to tell that this team does not have a good coverage, but this team is actually built upon what I was facing the most in the Ultra Premier. So this team is basically used to handle G.Stunfisk that I met quite frequently. Apart from it, Scrafty, it was there. Pidgeot, I found it a couple of times for me. Swampert, which is very much there in the meta. Apart from that, I faced some of the Obstagoons and Charizard also, to which I want to counter those things that are coming up in my elo range. So I was for last week I was in 2600, but for trying out some of the teams in the Electric Cup and the Ultra Premier, I got dropped to 2300 once again. So with this team I'm going to try to build enough elo. So that is the reason I am going to try to break the algorithm if it exists. I'm not sure, but let's see. So this team is actually the lead with Chesnaught, that is grass and fighting, that needs coverage against flying, fire, ice. So that's all. To which I'll be covering up those weaknesses with my double steel lineup over here, which is going to be my Empoleon and my G.Stunfisk. So that is the thought process that I had while building this team up. And without further more delay, let's quickly jump into the battles and check out how this team performed. Moving into the first lead, first battle with a really worst possible lead which I can face is going to be the Abomasnow over here, to which I'll be quickly safe swapping into my Stunfisk over here, and I got met with a hard counter once again, which is going to be Excadrill over here, the evolved version of Drillbur. So this time I'll be going for the first rock slide bait after building up to earthquake, and I got the shield from my opponent's ends, to which I thought they will be double shield to keep up the switch. So that is the reason I'll be going for one more rock slide bait, and this time I thought of going for one earthquake, but they realize that and they will be going for the next drill run that will take me out. So I'm happy that I'm having I am not getting switch advantage over here, but I'm getting shield advantage from for my Chesnaught and Empoleon, to which my strategy over his is to get the heart farm, totally get the heart farm onto this Excadrill over here, not Drillbur, beg your pardon, on the Excadrill, which I do get after shielding up one drill run, to which now the final Pokemon they revealed is going to be the Ampharos. So that this Ampharos will not appreciate this frenzy plants coming in through, which does have which I do have back to back over here for the knockout. And now the final Pokemon they comes out with the lead Pokemon, that is going to be Abomasnow once again, which will be getting the quite a bit of hefty damage with the superpower that does super acute damage. And from this kind of range they cannot go for any other move other than energy ball that does not even get half of my HP, to which I'll be able to reach the next drill peck, which does super effective in this scenario and get the win for the first battle. So GG's to my opponent, really well played. So now moving into the next battle, I pick up a lead, a good lead, a super lead over here with Swampert, and they save swaps into their ice type, which is going to be the wall, and they will not also appreciate this superpower that did almost 60% of its health, and to which now I'll be coming back with my hard answer to a Walrein, or maybe a very hard answer to them, which with their Swampert in the lead, to which I'll be going for back-to-back rock slides over here after tanking one earthquake, which does put them in a very tough situation because they cannot farm me down from this kind of range, because Stunfisk is so bulky. It's a XL level 50 base buddied Stunfisk, which is so bulky, so they have to go for a move which ends up being The Hydro Cannon and the final Pokemon is going to be revealed once again for Ice type, which is going to be Mamoswine, and they will not appreciate this as well. So they will be putting out the first shield, which they does get, which I do get over here, and now they will be going for back to back. Might be an Avalanche or might be a high horsepower. I'm not quite sure. So that is the reason I put up back-to-back shields over here, because my win condition is going to be my Chesnaught, because they does not have any play against my their Swampert. They does not have any play. So I'll be going for the first Hydro Cannon. So they have to throw Earthquake if they want to take me out, which they will do. But since the Swampert is quite low, so I can get the Heart Farm over here, which they recognize and top left the game in the right end moment. So very well played from my opponent's end, and good game. Moving into the third battle, I pick up a lead against Dragonite. So, as I've already mentioned in the introduction, this team does not have a good coverage. So that is the reason I don't have a really hard response to a Dragonite, to which I safe swapped into my own Stunfisk over here, to which I'll be now going for the Earthquake, as they come in with their hard answer to a Stunfisk as well, which is going to be Obstagoon Pseudo Fighter, which is a tough thing, because I thought of getting back my shield with back-to-back Rock Slide, but that did not work out for me. And rather, they can farm up a ton of energy because I went for the Rock Slide right now, which is not really good. So I might have to go double shield down, but I don't want to do that. So that is the reason I'll be coming back with my Chesnaught once again and trying to get a Heart Farm over here. So since Dragonite does have access to superpower now, it makes a really good comfortable matchup against steel types also, which it earlier struggled against. But since now they comes back with the Dragonite once again, and I safe swap again into my Empoleon, to which their answer is going to be a Gyarados. So I think I have a bit of play over here. So if I can put this if I can shield my Empoleon over here and try to get the farm down on the Gyarados, I will have a bit of extra energy onto my own Empoleon to thread the Dragonite over here. But I went for the shield right now for the next crunch, but from this kind of range, it's going to be really tough to waterfall down the Gyarados, which in case turns out to be true, and they can farm, they can go for one Aqua Tail, get the knockout for my Empoleon, and I does not have any win condition over here on a double shielded Dragonite over here, and I concede the match over here. So GG's. Moving into the next battle, I pick up a good lead yet again against Ampharos, because my Empoleon does not want to face Ampharos over here. To which I went for offset CMP over here, because so I threw when their Volt Switch was coming in, and they again swaps back into their Ice type. So I think people are not recognizing that Walden is not an answer to Chesnaught over here, because I do have access to super effective super power and Frenzy Plant as well, to which now I'll be letting this first charge move go through, which I call correctly, and it ends up being a Icicle Spear shield bait. So that's really good call from my end. And now I'll be going for the next Rock Slide. So Rock Slide does enough damage. So 2 Rock Slides does enough damage after the Mud Shots to take out a Walden from this kind of range, which I think now I put up a shield onto their onto the Icicle Sphere, and now they can outpace me to the next Earthquake over here. So that's really good play from the opponent's end, and now I'm in a really tough situation right now. But I do have a win condition since I'm upper shield, and their Ampharos actually is very low. So I'll be going for a hefty farm down onto this Walden and trying to catch the Earthquake onto the Chesnaught, which I did not. I was not able to do so. So they turned out their Ampharos once again to go for back-to-back Thunder Punches over here. But I recognized that, and I quickly switched back into my Chesnaught to catch the back-to-back Thunder Punches onto this Chesnaught, which handles this like a pro. And let's see what the final Pokemon is going to be in this situation, which ends up being Charmander, which is going to be Sylveon, which I am fine with, because I have got loaded energy onto my own Empoleon that can handle this very healthy Sylveon as well, and I went for superpower, which is kind of a bit of chip damage, which is nice, but I have to watch out for potential cats, but their switch time was not back up, so I'll be going for back-to-back hydro cannons that take out the Sylveon, and I go for waterfall down onto this Wolverine, getting the win for this battle here as well. So GG's to my opponent, really well played. Moving into the next match, I pick up a lead against Shadow Machamp over here. This is not of a good scenario because I can tank one cross chop, but 2 cross chop does take me out after the counter damage. So what I'll do, I'll be going for the first Frenzy Plant over here that does get the first shield, and now I'm going to go for a nice kind of bait onto the superpower, which does get both the shield from my opponent's end, and that's good because now I'll be coming back with my Empoleon to get a heart farm with both shields onto this Machamp. So if I could do that, I have enough energy to threat whatever they have into the backline, which I think might be a Swampert or might be a Trevenant as well. So I'll be let's see what they have in the back. So now they will be coming back with their Swampert, which I thought correctly. So now I'll be going for the next the first actually Hydro Cannon does quite a bit of damage onto this Swampert as well, and they went for only 5 mud shots. So this is going to be a Hydro Cannon once again, which does not knock me out, and I will be now going for the next Hydro Cannon, which will do enough damage onto this Swampert to get the knockout, and the final Pokemon is revealed to be a XL Abomasnow, to which I have a really hard answer to it, which is going to be my own Stunfisk over here with a shield advantage. Not shield advantage, but with a health advantage over here, what I can say, because I did chip their Abomasnow, and I did a really good catch onto my Chesnaught over here, so a really good counter from my end, and now I am having back-to-back rock slides for this Abomasnow that will be getting the knockout with the second rock slide over here that's coming in through, and that will be a good game from my opponent's end as well. So GG's. So as I've already mentioned, Chesnaught does have a potential to outshine some of the bulky metamons in this premier meta over here. So moving to the next match, I pick up a yet again Swampert lead. So this team is actually built to catch this kind of lead over here, because throughout maybe 1 to 2 days I was facing this Charizard, Obstagoon, Scrafty, Wolverine, Swampert, this kind of Pokemon very much. So that is the reason I built up this team to counter that, to which they safe swaps into their own Drapion over here, and this is a mistap actually on the shield which I did while playing, so which did not affect me much, because it might have caused some kind of issue, but I played it very effectively. So that is because I went for the first rock slide and getting a heart farm onto their very low Drapion. So right now I'm down a shield, but I'm having quite enough energy to threat whatever they are coming back in with, and that end up being the Swampert once again, and I went for the rock slide bait, which they do call, and now I'll be going for the next Earthquake, which they have to respect it, and they will be going for the first shield from their end. So they have to shield up some point or the other, and now from this kind of range I did a CMP type, which obviously Swampert will win, and they will be going for the Hydro Cannon that takes me out. But now again I'll be coming back with my own Chesnaught over here and get a heart farm, might be on the Swampert, but they again safe swaps into their own Scrafty over here, which is kind of a tough scenario for me, because my win condition over here is going to be the Chesnaught over here, which I recognize that, and I'll be going for the first Drill Peck, which they let it go, and now I have a win condition, because they'll be going for the next Power Up Punch to boost up their attack, but I will be double resisting those foul plays if they are counting on that, and single resisting these power up punches as well. So they cannot throw anything right now, which I do hold on to a shield right now, and I have to shield this Hydro Cannon once again. So this is the point which I was quite nervous, because first I have to get down their shield with a superpower, and then I have to reach to the next Frenzy Plant, which I do get into in time, which is a tricky situation tricky and a very surprising situation for me, as I can get the knockout with the Frenzy Plant getting the win for this battle here as well. Moving into the final battle of the video and the set. Actually, there's a video along with 2 sets, so two battle from a different set and 5 more battle from a single set. So I catch one more lead against with this Scrafty, which will be hard resisting all the moves they are going in for, but they're actually running acid spray over here, which is quite nice because they will be lowering my defense and they can counter me down, but they will be forced to shield with this superpower coming in through, and I will be swapping back into my own Stunfisk, for which they goes for an acid spray over here that did kind of 0 damage to me. It's triple resisted over here, which does 0 damage, and now I will be forced to throw once again. So this is the misplay which I kept on doing over here while playing the battle. So I went for back-to-back rock slides rather than going for one earthquake, which is not a great thing. And since they gave up both their shield over here, which is really nice because they gave up both their shields on the Scrafty over here, which is quite surprising. So I believe they have something in the back which is not really appreciate this coming in, to which now I'll be going for the next Frenzy Plant over here as they swap back into the Jellicent and then into their Alolan Ninetales over here. So they can farm me down with Powder Snows, but they have nothing over here that they can threat me. So might be with Weather Ball that is triple resisted and Dazzling Gleam that is double resisted. So that's not going to be enough. So I can get the farm down with very high amount of energy over here onto this Empoleon over here with 2 shield. And I think since they're running Bubble, so it is actually going to be a Shadow Ball along with Ice Beam Jellicent, which ends up being a good closer. But this kind of scenario, you should have got access to Bubble Beam. That will be lowering the attack, which might be helpful in the end game, to which now they'll be going for back-to-back might be Ice Beam and Shadow Ball, but I'll be outpacing them because I had so much energy into the first matchup that I came in with, because I hard farmed the Ninetales down, and now I'll be going for the next Drill Peck that does enough damage to get the knockout for the Jellicent and get the win for the final battle over here. So this is the team that I want to showcase to you guys, and this is totally built upon whatever I was seeing in the meta. So Chesnaught was a really good option to threat those kind of things. So if you can somehow cover fire, flying, ice and psychic as well, so it will be a really good Pokemon in this meta. So that will be all for this video, and see you again in the next one with new content and other teams as well. Till then, peace.